Hello and welcome back to math. You guys will notice on your screen the notes that we took yesterday. So if you could find those for me, please, that would be great. We're going to look at these U.S. customary system of measurement and our metric system, and we're going to kind of write down their abbreviations because, you know, mathematicians, we like shortcuts, we like it easy. All right, so once you find that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put their abbreviations next to their name. So, for example, next to the word mile, we're going to put MI. Mile, the abbreviation you'll see is MI. Yard, a lot of times you'll just see a YD. Feet, you might know you see the letters F and T. And inches, you'll see IN. For gallons in our math series, they will use the letters GAL to abbreviate for a gallon. Quarts will be a Q and a T. Pints will be a P and a T. And cups will just be a plain old C. Tablespoons and teaspoons will not be used in this lesson, so we'll just go ahead and move over here to ton. Ton does not have an abbreviation because it's already just 3 letters. Pound is the abbreviation LB. All right, so the word pound has the LB, and it has an LB because there's an L or B in this, which is kind of funny, but it comes from a ancient Roman word, which was called libra pondo. And so that's kind of why we have the abbreviation LB. Ounce, our abbreviation for ounce, we're going to put here is OZ. Let me put that down a little bit. All right, ounce, as you can see, has a Z in it. I do know that it comes from the Latin word, a Latin word that they use. And I think it was onza or something. So these are kind of just different. So we just memorize what their abbreviations are. All right, so let's go back to a new page in our notes. And what we're going to do today is we're going to actually start trying to convert some of these things. So we're going to convert 36 quarts to gallons. Well, what I would like for you to write in your notes is I would like for you to go ahead and write here, QT for quarts, and we're changing it to gallons. We're going to make a ratio table like something like this. I know that I have 36 quarts, and I want to find out how many gallons. So that's going to be my blank. I'm going to come back to the notes that we wrote yesterday like this. We're looking at quarts and gallons. Well, if you notice, I have quarts and gallons right here. I know that 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. So I'm going to come to my paper and I'm going to say 1 for the gallon and 4 for the quarts. All right, now I know how to fill in a ratio table. Let's see, I went from 4 to 36 by multiplying by 9. So that means I'm going to do the same thing here. 1 times 9 is 9. So I found out that my answer is 9. And we can just put gal like that for gallons. All right, let's try this one. We are going to convert 48 feet to yards. So we're going to make a ratio table. We're doing feet and yards. Okay, we learned that feet is FT, yards is YD. We're going to make our ratio boxes so it looks something like this. 48 for the feet. We don't know how many yards. That's what we're trying to find out. We're going to go back to the notes that we took. See if we can find something on here with feet and yards. Right here. 1 yard equals 3 feet. So we will go to our paper and we will put 1 yard, 3 feet. Now, how do we solve our ratio table? All right, well, 3 times something equals 48. If I don't know that off the top of my head, I'm probably going to have to do the opposite operation and divide by 3 like this. So we know it's 16. So this would be 16, which means 1 times 16 is 16. And we found out that the answer was 16 yards. All right, so I'd like for you to go ahead and try this one. I would like for you to convert 72 inches to feet. All right, well, hopefully you put on your paper. We have inches and feet. 72 goes with my inches. I don't know what the feet are. If you have these measurements memorized, you don't have to look back. If you don't, you need to look back here. We're looking at inches and feet. Inches and feet. Oh, right here. 12 inches, 1 foot. So we put 12 here and 1 here. 12 times what is 72? I'm probably going to have to go backwards like this. Let's do 72. And let's divide it by 12 over here so we can see how many that is. 12 doesn't go into 7. Oh, it goes in exactly 6 times. So I actually divided by 6. But I know if I go the opposite way, 12 times 6 is 72. So 1 times 6 is 6. So my answer is 6 feet. All right, well, next one that we're going to do is this. Looks similar. We're going to still convert. This says 60 ounces equals blank pounds. So we're going to solve this exactly the same way. We're going to make our chart, our ratio table. And I know I have 60 ounces. I don't know how many pounds that is. I need to go back to my notes. So let's pull out our notes and find ounces in pounds. Let's see, did we do ounces in pound in our notes? We did right here. 1 pound equals 16 ounces. So we need to make sure we label that correctly here. 1 pound equals 16 ounces. Okay, well, let's see. I know I'm going to take 16 times something to get 60, but the only way I'm going to find that out is I'm going to have to do the opposite operation. And I'm going to have to come over here and do 60 divided by 16. 16 does not go into 6. Let's see. Oh, it does go into 60, not evenly, but 3 times. 16 times 3, I will tell you, is 48. Make sure you're writing this down. 0 minus 8 I can't do, so we will borrow. 10 minus 8 is 2, and 5 minus 4 is 1. So 12 is less than 16, so I'm good. Our backwards check mark would look something like this. However, now that we're in 6th grade, we know that we can simplify that. 12 and 16 can be simplified because 4 goes into both of them. So if I did this little thing like this, I would find out my answer would be 3/4. So my answer is 3 3/4. That's not quite as even. So I'm going to take the same thing here. Obviously, I'm taking it times 1. And 1 times 3 3/4 is 3 3/4. So remember, we had this. I had to find out how many times 16 goes into 60, so I divided. I got the answer 3 3/4. So that means 16 times 3 3/4 is 60. So 1 times 3 3/4 is 3 3/4. So my answer would be 3 3/4 pound. That one was a little challenging. All right, go ahead and put a little star next to this problem because this is going to be very similar to a problem you're going to do on your homework for today. All right, so something else I want to give to you so that you are prepared for your homework is on this piece of paper, this note, if you can take this out, I'm going to have you add a couple more things that will be helpful for your assignment today. So a lot of times people have to keep this kind of information with them at all times because they just can't seem to memorize it. You can find conversion numbers like this on the internet. These are the ones you're going to need to know for 6th grade and how to solve problems. For your homework, though, I want to give you some extra ones that you're going to need to know. So somewhere on this piece of paper, I want you to write these down. That way you have everything on one piece of paper. So find this one. One of the things you're going to have to do today, not only with converting ounces to pounds and feet and cups and quarts and things like that, is you're going to actually use some metric system things as well. And if you remember, the metric system was that hecto, it was meters and liters. One of the things you're going to have to know today, and I'm going to turn my notes sideways so I can put it on here, is you're going to need to know that 1 liter, that's L for liter, is equal to 1,000 milliliters. Okay, you're going to need this information when you fill out a ratio table. You're also going to need to know that 1 centimeter is equal to 100 millimeters. You're going to need to know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. I have 2 more I'm going to give to you. 1, that's called a kilogram, is equal to 1,000 grams. And the last one is 1 cup, and we didn't put this one in our notes, is actually equal to something called a fluid ounce. So fluid ounce is not weight. This is still considered capacity. Now, the reason why I gave you these 5 extra things is because they're going to be needed for your homework today. Let me show you what I mean. All right, so for example, you're going to have something like, looks like this, except for it might have been nice if I would have done this. Let's fix this here. All right, there we go. We'll fix that. So I have 1,600 milliliters is equal to how many liters? So we're going to make our ratio table. We're going to have our milliliters. We're comparing it to liters. Make our boxes. I know I have 1,600 milliliters. I want to find out how many liters. Now I have to go back to the information that we put in our notes. I'm looking for milliliters and liters, and that was extra information that we got today. So let's see, milliliters and liters. Right here. 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. All right, so we have to solve this. All right, so I'm figuring out how 1,000 goes to 1,600. Well, you can't really multiply it by anything even. So we're going to take our 1,600 and we're going to divide it by 1,000. Now, some of you may have remembered that when we do things like this, I have these zeros I can actually cancel out. There's a 0 here and here. They both have a 0, and they have another 0. So this makes it a little bit simpler. So now I'm actually taking the number 10, and I'm dividing it into the number 16. Makes it a lot smaller. 10 does not go into 1. It goes into 16 one time. Leaving an answer of 1 and 6/10, which actually can reduce to 1 and 3/5. Now, you can either give it to me as a fraction like this. Some of you actually prefer to do this. Subtract, same answer. Some of you are getting pretty good at adding this decimal like this. And so your answer actually comes out even with the decimal. So you could either give me the answer 1 and 6/10, or you could give me the answer 1 and 3/5, they both are equivalent to each other. Now, put a star by this one because you're going to have a problem like this in your homework as well. All right, so your assignment is going to be on page 146, same page that your assignment was on yesterday. However, we are going to do problems 15 to 23.